I feel good about where we're at. Last week when I spoke to you, I said I thought we got out of this scrimmage unscathed, and that didn't really happen. There's a few things that popped up on us after that. Two guys that have some significant time missed that were important to us. But other than that, just bumps and bruises, few days. Some guys that missed a little bit of time this week. With this scrimmage, we did a lot of work with the younger guys. We feel like there's some young talent that needs to just play football, and we did that and got the ones some good work as well. In particular, I think we had, I don't know, Susan or Tony may know, but I want to say a 12 or 13 play drive that was good just to get the wind of both sides and used to a long drive. I'm not sure it would have been that way, but I let a couple penalties go and such and just wanted to get them some reps. So that was good. And then we worked some good situational work with the ones. And then the twos and threes just got a lot of just plays, let them play ball. So I feel like we're getting some good work. As I mentioned a week ago, it's kind of nice to get done with the second scrimmage. Normally we break camp right now, and school normally starts on Monday. It starts a week later this year. I like that. I feel like it gives us more time for walkthroughs, meetings, lets the players get a little rest. So we need to take advantage of that. So overall, we're in pretty good shape today. I think we came out of this one, until I get to report, I never know, but it looks like we came out of this one pretty clean, pretty healthy, which was important. You start adding them all up, what you lose in spring ball, what you lose in the summer, what you lose in scrimmage, and we can't afford that. And so I feel like we're in pretty good shape with being able to play physical, get reps, get a lot of volume. So I feel like we're in a pretty good position right now.
What was it like getting plays in with the helmet comms? I mean, is that kind of work out the boats on that?
We really like it. I'm listening the entire time to Coach Hamden and the quarterbacks, and it's interesting. It's nice. It's smoother. They're able to talk with them. They're able to communicate. They're able to tell them what to look for. Hey, don't forget the motion. Make sure different, just anything, and even checks or reads. And the pitcher can certainly change. The players still have to just go play. It's what they're coached to do, but. It's nice. I think everybody likes it to this point, and it's the same advantage for everybody. But it's been smooth. I think the key is to I think it also helps us with the things that I've talked about all off season about just trying to get in a rhythm and get some plays and get to the line and get going. That certainly helps. Hopefully it'll be smooth when we open. Thus far we've practiced a bunch. We've used it a lot, all spring, really every practice in certain periods. We've used it in every practice here. We've used it in, Tuesday, I think we went out there Tuesday night and tried to use it as a scrimmage-like situation where everybody off the field and complete communication and subs and all that stuff. And so we've worked it a bunch. It seems to be helpful, but it's going to be helpful for everybody.
Yeah, how does it work for defense? I mean, we talk a lot about the offense and for the quarterback, but where do you see it helping?
It also helps the defense because it alerts them. It could be a certain situation. It helps us with subtle movements up front on things that we do, on where we shade guys, where we move things compared to the formation and what we think we're getting. It helps them remind them and essentially make some checks in that regard, even if they're subtle or big changes. We could completely audible out of a defense, or we could make subtle changes up front as far as where we're given some different movement calls and stunts, things of that nature, and alerts, just alerting them.
What were the chip out for a little while? Where do you stand at running back right now?
Yeah, Demi has been really good, and Jamarion, he's got to push. He's got the talent. I think Jamarion's a guy that has some juice. He has some talents that, and he's getting more and more reps, and he just needs to be very consistent. We have a ton of confidence in Demi, where he's at. And then the young guys are really good. You've heard us talking about them since the spring, so we'll be okay, and we got to get Chip back when we can.
obviously not too long away from the first game. How's Brock Vandergrift's progression so far?
Really good. I think, Coach Hamden was coming down from the press box, so I talked to the quarterbacks out there. And, as I told them all, I really feel good about them. And absolutely no knock to anybody that's been here before. But, as a group, the 4 guys that we have, I have so much confidence in. It's a really good group. And that's really helpful because, as you know, things have happened in the past, and as you know, with the portal, sometimes when you have guys, other guys leave, and it leaves you thin. And I feel like we're in a really good situation with the quarterback room. I really do. And I just told them that I have confidence in all of them. We don't want anybody to get hurt, but it lets you have the confidence to let the guys go play. And just go play the game. And we all know the game is physical, and things happen, and we don't want that to anybody. But I really do feel good about the depth. And
Mark,
I feel like all 4 guys could play. Sorry.
No, sorry, Mark. Last year, penalties and discipline was sometimes an issue. How have you seen the players cope with playing clean this far into the preseason?
It's I wouldn't say it's non-existent. You see it out there. I don't see it in any scrimmages, so that's been good in the game-like situations. But you get out there in camp, the guys get frustrated, they get hot, they're wore out, they're tired, and sometimes they lose their composure a little bit. And we address that. We talk about it on the field. We talk about it in our meetings. And we're not perfect. There's a fine line there. We have to play, with an edge and an attitude and a chip on your shoulder, but you have to be composed. And that's a fine line sometimes. But I haven't at all seen it be an issue. Have not seen it be an issue.
Mark, you've also talked to us through the years about pre-snap penalties. With the more tempo in your offense now, has that been an issue, or do you like what you see?
None today. I've seen a few. We got to still tinker with the offensive line. When guys go down and you move guys around and all that, that's always an issue, with a lot of teams. And I think, finding the right mixture of guys when players go down and what movements you make to get the 5 best on the field, and tinkering with center, tinkering with different, positions, should we get an injury, I think that's where you see, the inconsistency right now that we just got to keep on working on.
Well, coming back to the quarterbacks, other than Cutter, I know Brock doesn't have a whole lot of playing experience, but he's been in a college system for 3 years. You've got experience there with guys. How much does that help just in the room, being able to process things, especially when you got a new offensive coordinator?
I think it helps a lot. I think it starts, with Coach Hamden, again, and just going back to the spring and the way he teaches, and Gavin's new this summer, but he's very organized, he's very calm, and he's very decisive, and he's a very good teacher, and I think that rubs off to those players, and I think the players, with you talked about Brock and his experience, you talked about Gavin. He probably has the most playing experience of anybody. You have Cutter, who came here in the spring, along with Bo, came back, and all 4 of them, I think they complement each other very much, and it's a really good room.
You mentioned some injuries from last week. Is there any specifics you can share on them?
The only thing I'll say is you're going to find out, and I disclose a lot anyway. I'm pretty open with it when guys are going to be out for a significant amount of time, and Hardly will be out for a decent bit. I'm not sure how long it'll be at least mid-season or more.
Have you seen anyone step up in the short time since then?
We got good depth at that position, but as I mentioned before, I really believe in the guys we have. It's just total numbers. You can't start losing more. Then you're into a problem with capacity of practice. How much can they handle? Because we have, I just mentioned, we have 4 good quarterbacks that need reps. Well, you got to have guys that can function at a high level and help them out.
Last one.
What kind of jump do you expect to see Ty Bryant take this year?
He's a guy that really, he's kind of surprised. I don't know about surprised. I've been just so pleased with him from the start. Just so mature, the way he handled himself all of last year as a freshman, and the consistency, and being in Coach Boulware's special teams meeting, even from a and early in it, as a freshman, the reliability that he has. So many guys can learn from him because he just puts his head down and he works and he gets better. And so he's a guy that I don't anticipate any kind of like sophomore slump or whatever you call it. You know what I mean? I just feel like he's a guy that's going to continue to get better with every rep because he just puts his head down. He's very reliable. He's a very good player. And he's done a really good job. I love the way he goes about his business.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Eli Cox.